to have for home decorating, you're going to find it at Westside Decorating Center. And a good morning to you. Welcome to the Art Lewis Show. Later on after the 10 o'clock news, a couple of folks going to be in. Let's spend time on the top of your house. From Storm Masters, Gene will be here, and from Roof Max, Ben will be here together. They're good friends, and we'll talk to them. At 11 o'clock, we'll learn about Francis Builders and some spring projects for your home. For this hour, I was expecting a guest, but I might have miscommunicated, but I can tell you what we're going to talk about. Tonight, 7 o'clock, and it goes till about 8:30, is the living portrayal of the Last Supper. It's an evening of music, song, theatrical performance, and it's done at The Well, 247 North Fordney Road in Hemlock. And Frank Marcello is the director of the program. And again, it is a living portrayal of the Last Supper. So if you would like to partake, again tonight at 7 o'clock. And I'm not sure, I'm trying to find it here. I'm not sure if there are other opportunities this weekend, if it's done more than once. I think it is, but let me take a peek here and see if I can be more positive about that. Yeah, okay, they're performing it at the Last Supper production. It's over 20 years old, by the way. They're performing it tonight and then tomorrow and Sunday at the Well. So there you go. All right. Open phones for the hour. 989-752-6111 is the number to call and participate on this beautiful Friday. It looks beautiful outside. It's going to be 50 today or thereabouts, which is an improvement. Oh, yeah. Next week, of course, the 15th, which is Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Tax day, folks. Yes, indeed. Well, Uncle Sam's got his hand out for you. So be prepared, as they say. Let's talk to Carl in Saginaw. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, Art. It is a beautiful morning.
Yeah, it looks wonderful.
I was watching the news about this budget bill that's going through Congress right now. What referred to, Trump calls it a big, beautiful bill.
Yep.
You know, that, and I saw that, I believe it was the Congressional Budget Office is saying that this bill, if it passes as it is going to add $5 trillion to the debt.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
I'm wondering. Okay, well, I was going to ask you, you know how you, because I know you're very upset about the size of the debt and getting bigger.
Yep.
And apparently this budget bill isn't going to do anything to change that.
I'm going to have to look. I don't know. I will have to look.
Okay.
I would hope it would not be that big. I assume anything right now is going to add to the debt because they haven't shrunk government enough to change that yet. So I'm assuming any bill that's passed is going to raise. It's going to cause a debt, it's going to cause a deficit, which then becomes part of the debt. So
right.
But I don't know how big it is. I haven't seen it yet, so I'll wait and see.
Okay. Well, I've been hearing people talk about Trump and saying that, everything that's happened, this was all part of the plan from the beginning, that he was going to announce these tariffs and then then he was going to pull them back, and this is all part of his master plan. Are you buying any of that? Or does it sound more like
What I'm buying is, so far he's done exactly what he said he was going to do. Now, I have said all along, you've heard me say it till I'm blue in the face, he loves to poke the bear, and he's also a negotiator. He knows how to make deals, and the way you make deals is to have leverage. And so he's used these tariffs in many cases as leverage, and we've seen 75 countries say, okay, we want to sit down with you. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it doesn't happen overnight.
Well, no, it doesn't. In Trump's first term, when he renegotiated the MCA treaty,
yep,
that took almost 2 years
to
do that.
Doesn't happen overnight.
That was one agreement.
Well, they got a lot of people working on it. And these agreements, I don't think, are as big as the MCA was. These are pretty much tariff specific about certain things. So I don't anticipate that it'll be that big a problem for them. They will have a lot of work to do, though. I mean, if they got to sit down with 75 countries, it's going to take time.
Yeah,
it's going to take time. At least they're doing it, because every day they don't do it pushes it off another day.
Okay, it's just that.
No, it's just
people talk about people talk about Trump and the art of the deal. I don't know if you've ever read his book or not, but Trump says his style is he doesn't do research, he doesn't plan, he just goes with his gut. He makes an outlandish opening bid to throw his opponent off their feet.
Guess what? It's worked for him.
And then it's worked for him. Yeah,
well,
he's declared bankruptcy. How many times has he declared bankruptcy?
Right.
4 times? And he's going to take us down with him?
That I don't think.
I believe it's.
I don't believe
it was
that.
Chapter 9. In Chapter 9, in The Art of the Deal, he talks about this beautiful casino he built in Atlantic City.
Yep.
That was his, the star of his.
Went belly
empire.
up, but Atlantic City didn't do well either. I mean, Atlantic City was failing. So, but listen,
well, maybe he shouldn't.
I'm not worried about what he's done. I'm worried about what he's doing. I want to see him succeed. And in the same way that I have to tell you, I've wanted every president to succeed, Democrat or Republican, because if they fail, we all fail, and if they succeed, we all succeed. Period. End of story.
Well, we're all failing right now.
No, you think so.
I
don't see it that way. So that's a matter of opinion.
Well,
all right.
Yes, exactly. I just said. Okay.
All right, thanks, Carl. We'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye now. 989-752-6111, the number to call. It's, I have to tell you, in conversations that have just happened this week about the show with people who are not involved in radio, just friends who listen and people know me, I have told them, as I have said many, many times, I cannot sit here and just talk politics. That's why we do so many guests. We have lots of things going on. We're the only talk game in town. There are lots of things happening in the region which are interesting. So we have a lot of guests on. And when we don't have guests, then we do like we're doing now, an open hour. And at one time, I used to say the most fun I could have in radio was doing an open show, not knowing where the conversation is going. Now, I still feel that way. However, the drawback is 99% of the time it's going to be politics. And I would think we all should be so fed up with politics that we just had enough. I mean, you really... There's been surveys about this saying that the American people, as a huge body, are tired of it. But yet, all the noise is made, all the political noise is made, you can't get away from it. So I just, I don't know. What can I tell you? But we're still glad to talk about it if you want to talk about it. That's what an open hour is all about. And it's what makes it interesting. And one of the other things we have to do, of course, is pay the bills, so we're going to do that right now.
Digital media.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show. Back to our phones. Tim is in Midland. Tim, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How we doing?
We're doing well, thanks.
I'm going to apologize because you know where I'm going with this. So
you don't have to apologize.
Well, I do. You're at the microphone. You've got to be just like another call about this. Another call. We're gonna complain about Trump. Or something. But the last gentleman that called is like, I don't understand what they're for. They're against him. Okay, they're against the terrorists. They're against everything. And Trump said it in his State of the Union. He could cure cancer, and people would come out against him on it.
Yeah.
And you've had another gentleman call in before and saying the same thing about Democrats. It's like they seem to be against everything, but what are you for? I don't understand. He's against all these things. Hey, I'm against raising the deficit too. I mean, I don't want to see that. I want to see government shrunken government. I mean, a government is inherently corrupt. It's inefficient and it's wasteful. And the only way you can combat that is to shrink it.
Yep.
That's the only thing to do. And then you're going to have to realize, even then when you do shrink it, it's still going to be corrupt, inefficient, and wasteful.
Well, here's the thing, Tim, and I just want to point this out. Every president that I can remember has always said, we're going to get rid of the waste, abuse, and all of that, and corruption.
Yep.
And nobody does. He's the first one
You're
that
correct.
really has taken the bull by the horns and said, we're going to do it.
And the thing is, I am not a MAGA guy. I am really not. I am very skeptical of Donald Trump. But I'm in his corner with this one. I watch him cautiously. I think he's a little spastic on decision making. Like the guy called before said, he makes decisions based on gut feeling. Yeah, that's not a good thing. It's your gut isn't always right. Make your decisions based on fact. And that's one thing that scares me about Trump. He's too emotional on his decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So, however, he's gotten to this point. I'm in his corner. Let's go. Let's see this work. I am with him 100% because I'm for that. I'm for bringing business back to the United States.
Yeah, absolutely.
But everybody else is just like, I don't understand when they call in and it's like, okay, what are you for then? You want bigger government. You want Kamala Harris in there to do what? To spend more money and more corruption and to continue down the same path we're going. No. I don't get it.
Well, here's the thing. Let's see what you think about this. Trump is an easy target because he sets himself up as one.
Absolutely.
He doesn't know sometimes when to keep his mouth shut. And,
well, that's one of his problems too, yeah.
Exactly. And I'm in your camp. I mean, I really don't like the man all that much, but the reason I voted for him is because I like his ideas. I like what he wants to do for the country. That, to me, is what's important.
Yeah. So that's important, too. I don't understand. So these other people, they're for bigger government? You want more government? You want more intrusion? You want more taxes?
Well, some do. Some think government should do everything for us.
They're on the dole then. They're just, I'm going to start. They're just lazy. They're lazy people that just want to sit around and collect a check. And they're going to cry.
Yeah,
they're going to give you 20. They're going to bitch.
I'll caution you because I know the one gentleman you're referring to who called. He's not that way. He was a very, very active businessman for many, many years, and he's not on the dole. So I'm just good. Not everybody it's like anything. One big brush doesn't cover everybody because
I got it. I'm painting with a wide brush there, and I'm saying that generally. But I mean, generally, when I look at a population, if they want the government to stay big, it's like why? What is
they're living off of it.
Yeah, they're living off it. That's why it's like, and that's where they're afraid that the cuts are going to come, and it's like,
Yep.
take my rights, and it's like, oh my god. So you turn that spigot on, you start giving stuff out, you can't shut it off.
That's the problem.
It's just tragic.
Yep.
So I hope we're not too far down the road. I hope we can come back. I'm not convinced we can, but
this country's resilient. In our 250-year history, almost, we're pretty resilient, and we've been through down times before, and we've been through good times and bad times. We find a way to bounce back. We've survived it. We've survived it.
Resilient is a very good word, because I think people are becoming less resilient.
That may be.
People are just getting weaker, and
all right.
And we're not.
Well,
anyways,
good enough. Tim, appreciate the call as always. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye now. And let's talk to Mark this morning. Morning, Mark.
Morning, Art. How are you, sir?
Good.
Hey, Michigan Supreme Court announced that anybody that's 17, 18 that shot somebody and killed them is not warrant to have a life sentence because brains weren't developed fully, and they're not really considered an adult. Well, with that being said, why is it in some cases that children can have puberty blockers and alter their gender type, and that's okay? They can make that decision that will, curtail how their life is going to be, but
points out the inconsistencies.
There's no law against that. What's that?
Points out the inconsistencies.
Yeah, how is that acceptable? But if they shoot somebody, it's not acceptable. I just don't understand.
Yeah, 17, 18-year-olds, I think, should face adult consequences if they murder people. If you're talking about 13, 14-year-olds, I might have a different view of it. But you 17, 18-year-olds, they know what they're doing.
All right. Well, I agree. Hey, so yesterday, I've heard out there the left likes to call Trump Hitler. And yesterday, Governor Whitmer was hanging with Hitler yesterday. But she came out and said that she thought it was supposed to be a private meeting. Irregardless, why wouldn't you're meeting with the president, whether it's private or not? What does it matter? Why do you have to backtrack and say that? Well,
no, because politics is politics. But the president said some nice things about her.
I know.
So, well, listen, it's I'm glad they're talking. If it benefits Michigan, I'm glad they're talking.
All right.
And
then with GM, with GM, real quick, I wish they would cut out talking about their bonus programs and stuff like that. $14K everybody got, because when they go to lay off people, it's kind of hard to feel for them when, they're passing out all those bonuses and stuff.
Yeah.
How come they? I just wish they would change that, and I wish my car companies would stay out of politics, because it just seems like whatever president is in there. That's how they build their business model.
Yeah. Well, the politics, yes, I agree, but the bonus is all part of union contract, and that's it's what it is. It is what it is. So, all right.
All righty, sir.
Got to run. Take care. Paul, hang on. We'll get to you next right after these notes here on WSGW. Let me take a moment to talk about Quick Lane Freeland next to my car dealer, McDonald Ford. Quick Lane Freeland is a one-stop shop for all your routine maintenance, oil changes, brakes, tires, batteries, on all makes and models of cars. Doesn't matter what it is. They keep them in tip-top shape. Tires, well, you've heard us talking about it. And it keeps going because people are responding. It's just $5 over cost. That's what they're selling tires for. And these are brand names: Michelin, Goodyear, BF Goodrich. Plus, some of them come with an additional $60 to $100 in rebates. There is extra for installation, including balancing and lifetime tire repairs. And there is a wonderful customer lounge with free internet, free ice cream bars waiting for you at Quick Lane Freeland, right next to McDonald Ford. And if you're in the market for an automobile, take a look at the new lineup of Fords or their wonderful pre-owned lot where they have all kinds of makes and marks. You'll find it waiting for you at Quick Lane, Freeland, right next to McDonald Ford.
The following heartwarming yet informative.
Well, yesterday, late news report said that some liberals have been accusing the Trump administration of insider stock trading. Every time he says tariffs are on, tariffs are off, tariffs are on, tariffs are off, stock market goes up and down. They claim people in the administration are making enormous amounts of money in the stock market.
I
don't
know
if you heard that or not.
I know who to ask to see if it's true. You know who
Okay.
that is? Nancy Pelosi.
Exactly.
She's
She
probably an
voted
expert.
She voted against insider stock trading. In fact, she's one of those that are hollering about it.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
so the other issue I got is I don't know if you heard anything about this, but Mel Gibson is planning to produce. In fact, I think he's already started production, and filming is going to start sometime this summer about the resurrection of Christ, all the way to the end of the Bible, including Revelation, Apocalypse.
So
And
they
he's going
say.
to attempt to identify and explain who some of the mysteries are in the end of the Bible. What do you think?
More power to him. I
Right.
mean, it's, as serious a subject as it is, it's still entertainment. People still have to attend to make it
Right.
successful. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's kind
His
of
first round was pretty well accepted.
Right. Yeah, the first one.
So we'll see. Time will tell.
And a lot of people believe that we're in the end times anyway, so it is kind of topical information if we are, you know.
If we are, yeah.
So,
all right.
Yep.
Good enough.
All right.
Take care.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And we'll say hi to Russ in Bay City. Morning, Russ.
Hey, good morning, Art. I was just wondering if you find Senator Kennedy from Louisiana as refreshing as I do.
Yeah, he's pretty neat. Good guy.
He's a lot of fun. I mean, this dude just, I don't know.
Well, anybody I like people that speak their mind.
Well, and he keeps a sense of humor.
Yeah.
I mean, he makes you laugh. You know, it's just, and I don't know, I think we need more of that.
Well, yeah. Politics is a joke, but we need more laugh out of it.
Well, let's laugh at it, because it is a joke. I mean, the other guy was asking, well, what do they want? What they want is communism, which is why they can't say it out loud.
No, I don't think they want to go that far.
Mask it. They have to cloud it in this and cloud it in that.
No, I think socialism would be a better term.
I don't. I
do.
Communism.
No,
because inevitably the ones at the top get really rich. The government people get really rich.
Well, they're already doing that. They
people
don't need
just get
communism
poorer
for
and poorer.
that. They don't need communism for that. They're already doing it.
I know, but they're doing it, and we need to call it for what it is. That's communism.
Well, okay, you can call it that
That's
if you
what it
want.
is. It's when the government's deciding everything and screwing everyone below them. I mean, that's enough is enough. We can't have this no more. And if you want to be a decent, people say, oh, go back to Bill Clinton. Well, Bill Clinton was the one that switched the Democrats from being the party of the workers to the party of the corporate and the insider traders. He's the one, him and Hillary made themselves, hey, we're going to, and that's what switched it all. And now they're the party of big government and big business. And they hate the small business people, and they don't want to bring manufacturing back to America.
Hate's a strong word.
That gives Americans middle-class jobs.
I'm sorry, hate's a strong word.
Okay.
So, but I understand what you're saying.
Listen to him on TV.
All right.
Turn on any late-night talk show, and what you're going to hear is hate.
That's why I avoid them.
And it's all they have.
All right.
For the last
Good
5
enough.
years, Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon.
I said that's why I don't watch them.
Yeah.
You have a choice, you don't have to watch them.
But the majority of people do.
Well, I don't know about the majority. As a matter of fact, that's not true anymore. Their ratings at late night are terrible compared to what they used to be when you had the Johnny Carsons of the world and people like that. They're nowhere near it.
Because, see, no one knew what Johnny's politics was.
Exactly.
He didn't bring it to
He
his
was an
show.
entertainer.
He brought entertainment.
Yeah, these
This
guys
is the time
do not.
He can relax.
And
before he
these
went
guys
to
are
bed.
paying the price because of it, because their audiences are much, much smaller.
And it should be.
So, all right, good enough for us.
All right, you have a
Appreciate
great
it.
day.
Thanks. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
And we'll be back with Gene and Charles after
For
these
20
notes.
years, New Finish has been your...
So, yeah, it's going to increase the deficit, which will increase the debt.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not funny. I mean, it's reality.
No, it's a sad, sickening situation.
Well, yeah, but it's not. Understand this, Gene. It's not created by Trump now. I mean, it's been created over decades.
Right. What are they planning on spending money on in the near future? What's in there that they're going to be spending money on?
Everything they spend it on now, but probably in a smaller fashion, except defense.
They're going to increase the defense budget.
They'll keep it the same or increase it slightly, and they did increase it, as a matter of fact, a little bit.
On to our situation with Canada. My uncle worked at the steel mills when they closed them over by Detroit. And the reason that they closed them is that Canada can produce steel so much cheaper than we can. If we stop buying steel from Canada, then everything made with steel that's made in America, the prices on cars and everything are going to go way up.
Well, here's the decision you have to make then, Gene. Are you willing to pay a little bit more to keep jobs in this country? Or should we just throw up our hands and say, well, they can make it cheaper, so we'll just buy everything elsewhere, and the heck with jobs? Because that's the choice.
I sometimes think, Canada's a free country, that it's not that terribly bad for us to be buying a little more from them than they're buying from us. If it helps the whole population, like with the lumber, I'm a nature lover.
Yeah,
I hate to see our woods being all cut down. If we can buy lumber so much cheaper, that saves our woods and our nature and everything more. I think some of the,
here's the problem.
Flexibility.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem. If Canada were the only player, and that's all we had to worry about, then I'd say, yeah, fine. But they're not. We got the rest of the world to worry about, including China.
I feel he's going too fast.
Well, you can
I think every individual country should be treated differently.
Well, they will be.
He's going so fast. He's kind of throwing out the baby with the bathwater.
No, I don't think so, because here's what's happened. He's made these pronouncements about tariffs, and now 75 countries want to come and sit down and negotiate, and we'll be in a better position for it in the long run.
One of the problems, of course, everybody dislikes China, but one of the problems they were talking about on the news yesterday is we're getting almost all of our medicines and drugs from China.
So how do we fix that?
That's a bad situation.
We learned that in COVID, didn't we?
The problem is a gradual thing would be better than just cutting everything off, because it's going to take time for us to get back to manufacturing.
Gene, everything is gradual. Even though he's putting a big tariff on China, you think the ships are going to turn around and go back to China? No.
Well, we all go day by day and watch what's happening. But the majority...
All right, I got to get one more call in here, so hurry up.
Thank you.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye now.
Bye.
And this is Charles in Bridgeport. Charles, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you doing today?
We're doing well, thanks.
I enjoy your show immensely.
Thank you. I appreciate
I think you and Terry Henney do a great job. I like
Thanks.
the farm show also.
Two old goats.
Yeah, well, you're good. What I was calling about is a couple things.